Hi guys! So you guys wanted to learn how to make this easiest ever 10-minute self-lining flat bottom bag. And I love this bag because things tend to get really tangled together in my sewing basket and my knitting basket. And so having these little bags lets me divide up projects. I can take them on the go and then just open them up, flip down the top, and it sits up perfectly as a little project bag. So we start with a fat quarter, and a fat quarter is a piece of fabric that's 18 inches by 22 inches, 18 across there and 22 down. And you actually have the selve edge right there at the top, and because that's already finished, we're going to use that to our advantage. So start off by laying out your fat quarter and folding it over in half, edge to edge, making sure you keep that selve edge at the top, that woven edge. And we're just going to make that nice and flat, and we're going to sew just 2 seams. The first seam is going to go right down this long edge, and you want to sew that at a 1/2 inch. There we go, there's that 1/2 inch seam. And now we're going to sew along the bottom, and again, another 1/2 inch seam. Once that is done, we need to finish off those edges. So here I'm just using pinking shears because it's easy and quick. You could also use a zigzag stitch, or you could use your serger. But given that this is just a simple little project, I just decided to use my pinking shears, and that works absolutely perfectly fine. So now we're going to create that bucket effect by boxing the corners. So we're going to kind of pull it open from the middle and put that seam that we just created with the pinking sheared edge right down the center. And what that will do is make those little corners kind of pop up above and below like that. And by kind of giving them a little tug and playing with the fabric a little bit, it will start to lay flat. There you go, you've got like a little square going on. And now we want to draw across at 2 inches. Now it does help to have a clear ruler, and I have a friction pen here, but you could easily just use a regular ruler and some pins. You don't need anything fancy. And then the other end as well. And we're going to sew directly across. We're sewing directly across those 2 lines. And by doing that, we're going to create that flat bottom that allows the bucket bag to sit up on its own. Okay, so it's hard to see because of the stitching that I used, I'm afraid, but I did just go right across there. And now, ta-da, we get to turn it right side in. So I like to fold in those corners because it sort of gives a little extra stability to the bottom of the bag, but it doesn't really matter, just as long as it's either flat against the bottom or flat against the sides. You can see that we have that selve edge, so we don't need to finish that edge. That sort of saved us a step. And now I'm going to flip it in. So basically I pick a point approximately halfway up the sides, and I fold it in on itself and fold it so that that selve edge is hitting right to the bottom. Give it a nice press. About 50% of the bag is on the inside and 50% is on the outside. That's that self-lining portion. So when you look inside, it looks like it's fully lined, but actually we've just sort of done a little bit of a trick. And there we are. There's our little bag. Super cute. I can put my little sock project in there that I'm working on finishing. I can either fold it over and throw that in my bag, throw it in, my purse if I'm going out, or I can turn down the top and give it a little zhuzh. You could even do a top stitch there if you were just planning to keep it as a flat bag. And there she is with her mate, with the original. Please let me know below if you enjoyed this tutorial and if you'd like to see other versions of this bucket bag. Talk to you soon.